In this Wing Chun lesson, I'm going to talk about how to stop chasing hands. Now, chasing hands in Wing Chun is something that everybody goes through. All Wing Chun students have to work on chasing hands less and really chasing the center more. So what is that specific definition of chasing hands? It's basically when you are focusing on the obstacle of the opponent's hands and trying to prevent and be very defensive minded, trying to prevent them from hitting you. You're worried, you're fearful of them hitting you. When really the goal of Wing Chun is to occupy the center line. The saying is chase the man, not the hands. Now, this is much easier said than done because yes, we do need to simultaneously defend and attack, but in Wing Chun, our defenses are really about structure and geometry to use them as we go towards our attack. So the structure and the positioning is really our defense, not blocks and swipes and holds and things like that that you might see in other martial arts. So we have to learn how to not chase hands. So in this Wing Chun lesson, I'm going to help you to learn how to stop chasing hands of your opponent and start dominating in sparring and in Chi Sao. All right, first of all, the reason people chase hands is because they're fearful of being hit by the other person. They're scared of their opponent's hands, and that's why they go ahead and chase them, right? They chase them for defensive reasons. They're trying to protect themselves. They have a defensive-based mindset. Now, Wing Chun, in and of itself, is a very has an offensive mindset. In other words, its answers to things are very offensive. Yes, there's defenses involved, but usually they're simultaneous attacks and defenses. So everything really is about the mindset of developing this offensive nature. So basically, when people are chasing hands, it means that they don't trust in the position and the structure, the geometry of the triangle, that position and structure to handle the defense for them. So then how do you stop chasing hands? Well, you have to change the way you think. That's the bottom line. You cannot approach it from the same way that you've been constantly approaching your sparring or your Chi Sao. You can't do that because that's what's causing you to chase hands to begin with. You have to change your mind about it. Now, this doesn't come overnight. You have to meditate on it, and you really, really have to start focusing in on the goal. And the goal of Wing Chun is to occupy the center. On the dummy, you can practice this. Even without a partner, you can practice the idea of not chasing hands. This represents their hands that you might be chasing. And instead of going across the dummy like this, you want to go straight on into the dummy with everything. Really imagine going straight on in. And don't hit this too hard. Not this. Go in here. A lot of people hit and cross this so hard, but that's not the goal. The goal is to deflect this. So if you're hitting the arms too hard, you're not just deflecting, you're blocking and swiping across. So just go right on in with that. It shouldn't feel like too much as you're going into this. Otherwise, you're crossing, and you just don't want to cross. You can do this with defenses, with your tans too. Make sure that your tans are going straight on in, and you're thinking of here. Make sure your asks, your punches. You can even just practice punches like this. Make sure it slides along here as opposed to banging into there. The cool thing about the mind is you really can't have two thoughts at once. So if you maintain the idea of going to the center the entire time and focus on forward energy straight to that center, you will change how you think over time by continually meditating on it. Now, additionally, as you continue to do your Wing Chun, you start to trust in your structure, you start to trust in your geometry to do the job of the defense, you will no longer need to block or chase hands. I say there's no blocks in Wing Chun. I know a lot of people use the term blocking, but blocking to me is a very defensive action. Blocking like a karate or taekwondo thing like that, it's just not what we do. We don't go outward with our energy in any way. Everything is very, very offensive, and we wedge as we simultaneously defend and attack towards our goal. So understanding the knowledge that fear is the reason for chasing hands, we can then take that and we can then apply it to our recipe for changing it. And that means really, really focusing, meditating on the center, understanding that that's our goal. And as we continue to do this and we continue to experience this, we'll gain confidence in our structure and our position, that geometry. Wing Chun relies on the geometry and the structure to do that work, to do the defensive work. Now you have to time it correctly, but that's what timing position really is. So when we understand these things about chasing hands, I mean, you look at it, really, that's the essence of what we do. We change the way we look at things. There's no blocks, right? There is only offense, and using your simultaneous defenses and attacks to do that offense. So when we understand the bottom line of why we're chasing hands, then we can learn to gradually get out of it. Until you change your mindset, until you change the way you think about sparring, you will continue to chase hands. But it can be done, it can be changed gradually by continually getting rid of that fear, and really meditating upon your goal. And then as you meditate upon that goal, you're attracted to that goal constantly, and you start to become much more confident and comfortable going straight to the center. Whereas before, you feared it, right? You feared it. That's why you chase the hands, because you fear just going in because you feel like you might get hit, right? So this is how you stop chasing hands in Wing Chun.